Hey everybody, it's Shelby from Staying Books, and it is time for another Top 5 Wednesday. And if you are unfamiliar with Top 5 Wednesday, I will leave a link to the Goodreads group down below, which is run by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. But basically the idea is that every week there's a new topic, and you are going to pick your top 5 for that topic. This week's topic is books you want to finally read in 2017. Now, these are not upcoming new releases. These are books that have been sitting on your TBR, and for whatever reason, you have not gotten to. And so they could have been there for a year, they could have been there for 5 years. Whatever the reasoning is, now you're finally like, I've got to get to these in 2017. This was not a hard topic for me because I have the longest TBR ever, and I do have a couple of challenges that I do in both the Romance group and the Romance Readers Reading Challenge group that are specifically geared to this kind of TBR reading. Both groups have a challenge that is either a 2 or 3 month challenge where everyone that signs up for the challenge picks 3 books for each individual person, and then that person picks 1 book off of their 3 to try and read within that time period. Well, the problem with that is I never actually managed to finish all of the books that are picked for me, so I have a long list of books that I keep meaning to get back to and read. And every quarter I do take out a couple of them, but I never seem to get caught up. Well, since these books are picked off of a list that you set up of books that you want to read, they're all books that you're interested in reading. So when I was looking through this and trying to decide what my 5 that I absolutely want to get to as soon as possible in 2017 are, I decided I was going to go with series books that I have, for whatever reason, not gotten further in the series. And these are the next books up in that series and are definitely series that I want to continue. So first up at number 5, I have Dark Frost by Jennifer Estep. This is the 3rd book in the Mythos Academy series. I was really enjoying this series. I do really like the backdrop in this series of the mythology and that Gwen is this gypsy girl, so her powers are really a little bit different than everyone else's. And, you know, it's a young adult, paranormal, mythology, fantasy book and series. I enjoy that Gwen is different and trying to find her place amidst these kids that have all been together for a long period of time and all understand the world that they're in, and she is the outsider trying to figure it out and never knew that she was part of this world. Each book has gotten more complicated with the storyline, and we found out a lot of stuff in the last book that really made me want to read this one, and I just have not had a chance to pick it up. So definitely, right off the bat, I really want to get to Dark Frost. At number 4, I'm going to go with The Girl with the Iron Touch by Katie Cross. This is the 3rd book in the Steampunk Chronicles. I am loving this series, and again, this book series has been delayed for me for months and months and months. I read the first 2 books very quickly, and then just due to the reading I was doing for different challenges, I never got around to reading The Girl with the Iron Touch, and I really want to read this one because Emily has been one of my favorite characters. She is awesome. I mean, her abilities are awesome. She is the creator of the story. She is the one that understands the mechanics and can build all of the steampunk elements, basically all of the mechanical elements. And when she is kidnapped at the end of the last book, I was like, oh my god, I have to read the next one so soon, and I've just never gotten to it. And so I just really, really, really want to get back to this and finally get through this entire series. I think there's maybe one more book after this one. I was really loving the writing style, the world building, and these kids are great. It's a young adult steampunk series. All the characters in this story come from very different walks of life, so you get a good cross-section of this Victorian-style London, of course with the steampunk characteristics added in. And I just really, really love the world that Katie Cross has created here, and the characters are really enriched and wonderfully fleshed out, and you really feel for them. So I'm definitely excited to get back to this book. At number 3 this week, I am going to go with the Others series by Anne Bishop. I finished book 2, Murder of Crows, a while back, and am loving this series. Anne Bishop is one of my all-time favorite authors, and I've just never gotten around to ordering book 3, which is Vision in Silver. I am so interested in seeing what happens next. The main character in this series is a Cassandra Sang. Basically, anytime she is cut, the smallest, tiniest, teensiest little cut, and she will experience prophecies. And it's very addictive, and she ran away from the group that had her and was controlling her and trying to own her prophecies, and now is living in a closed city that is run by the shifters and the paranormal creatures. And basically, they all kind of lived in these walled-off cities, separate from the world. And there's a very uneasy balance between humans and the shapeshifters and elementals and that type of characters. Where the book left off last time, there was a very fragile balance that was about to get broken, and there was some dire consequences coming, and I can't wait to read this next book and see what happens. So it's definitely one I need to order it. I'm going to order it from Amazon and have it here, and it will definitely, hopefully, be something I get to in January. Number 2, I am going with Scarlet from the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I really enjoyed Cinder. I know everyone really loves this series, and I've never gotten back to reading it. Now, I do have Scarlet picked for a challenge to read in December, so if I do read Scarlet in December, I will just shift over and put Cress on this list because I have not read that one either, and they are both on my TBR. They both were picked for challenges for me within the Meet and Greet Challenge with the Romance Readers Reading Challenge months and months and months and months and months ago, so I feel justified in saying it's either going to be Scarlet or it will be Cress right away because I really want to continue this series. I really want to get to the end of it. I know so many people really, really love it, and I'm curious to see how it breaks down since I know that each book focuses on a different character. And since I loved Cinder so much, I'm really curious to see what happens with Scarlet and with Cress. So that one is a series I would really love to finish out in 2017, and I can't wait to get to this book. And my final pick for this week at number 1, I am going to go with Shadow Fever by Karen Marie Moning. Now, I have had this book. It is in the oldest section of my Meet and Greet Challenge. It is the first one I ever did, and I loved this series. I had been devouring the books, and I got to this one, and I got really frustrated with things that happened in the book right before this, and so I didn't read this one. I started it, I got like 30 pages into it, and was so frustrated and not liking where things were going, and worried that I was really not going to enjoy where the story went next, that I put it down. I really like the Michaela Lane novels. I enjoy the Irish mythology that's in this series. I really loved the world that they build with the Fae and the battle back and forth and all of the dark elements of this series. I just didn't like what happened at the end of the last book, and I was just convinced that I was going to hate where this book went. So it has been sitting on my TBR for years. Probably at least 2 years. And it's, like I said, in the oldest section of my Meet and Greet Challenge because I just carry over my books every month. Well, this is in like round 3 and I didn't join until that round. I need to read this book. And the series has continued on. It can't be as bad as I'm fearing. I know that people really love this series, and I've just been so scared to read this book and feel like, oh God, what if I hate it? It's never going to be the case. I just need to power through, put my big girl panties on, and suck it up and read the book. So definitely number 1 on this list is Shadow Fever. I really need to read this one. I really want to read this one. I'd like to continue with the series, and I can't do that till I get past this book. So that is my top 5 Wednesday with all the books that I have had on my TBR for ages and need to continue on. They're all series books. They're all series that I have enjoyed and really want to continue with. Let me know what you think. If you read some of these books and can alleviate my fears, that would be wonderful. Hope you all are having a wonderful week. Give this video a big thumbs up or subscribe, and I look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. Talk to y'all soon. Have a great day. Bye.